Spring break just ended for a lot of families, but it's already time to plan those summer vacays.
And Kyle Porter, executive editor with Thrifty Traveler, is live to help us score some of the best deals. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Now, you've already done a lot of the work for us, but what are some of the best deals you found leaving Houston going elsewhere?
You know, there's still a lot out there for summer and especially late summer and early fall. So, just for a quick few examples, we found nonstop round trip flights to Chicago, great city to explore in the summer, for $158 round trip. If you want some beach time, Key West for $223 round trip from Houston. Up in the Northeast, Portland, Maine, amazing place to explore in the late summer and early fall for $226 round trip. And then one of my personal favorites, we just keep finding great prices all the way to Sydney in Australia. So, for example, we've seen flights from Houston for $758 round trip over the summer, which is less than half the price that those flights usually go for. So this is the hard thing. I know a lot of people are searching for summer trips and they're seeing really crazy airfare prices, but the deals are still out there. It's just all about having the right mindset, using the right tools, and knowing where to look.
Hey, thanks for all the homework. That's certainly helpful as people look it up right now. Now, do you have some ideas about how to book things? I mean, do you suggest looking at those flights first before you book anything else like your hotel or your rental car?
That is the number one thing to do, especially in a busy summer travel season, which we're going to be heading into very shortly here, when travel demand is absolutely sky high. The best thing that you can do is follow what we call the flight first rule, which is exactly like as it sounds. Before you do anything, before you request time off from work, before you book that rental car or that hotel, start searching for flights, because that's going to give you the flexibility to say, instead of leaving on a Monday, maybe leave on a Tuesday instead. That is the key to saving, in many cases, $250 or more per ticket on airfare.
A lot of times we forget about those points that we have accumulated, especially throughout the pandemic. How important is it right now to use some of that you've saved?
It's so critical right now. You know what? Points and miles, credit card points, airline miles, whatever you have, they are not an investment. I know everybody hates to use them. They love to see those balances grow and they're scared to use them in the first place. But those credit card points and airline miles, they get less and less valuable over time. So the absolute best time to use them is right now, when you're looking at a potentially expensive summer trip. To be able to defray some of that cost by cashing in some of those points and miles, it is a winning strategy heading into the summer travel season.
And then what about timing this summer? Is there a certain month that might be more affordable than others when we're looking at the summer months?
I think in general, the earlier in summer and the later into summer, maybe even early fall, if you can stretch it, that's the key. Because the further you get away from the peak of the summer, from July all the way through August, those 2 months are really the peak of the summer travel season. And that means that's typically the peak of summer travel pricing as well. So if you have the flexibility to go in early summer, maybe even really late spring, or late summer, early fall, that's going to be the key to saving even more on your airfare, and as well as hotel costs. And then especially if you're talking about going somewhere as far as Europe, if you can go there, at the tail end of the peak summer travel season, it means cheaper hotels, but also fewer crowds. So it's just going to be a much better experience and a cheaper experience as well.
Great information, Kyle Potter. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, time to plan that trip.
Yes.
Get busy, everybody.